Look, here's why men prefer younger women. Aside from the fertility, well, I mean, I can mention this. They're more physically attractive, more emotionally available, tend to be more romantic. They have more energy and they're more optimistic about the future. They have more time to live life, travel the world before starting a family. They're more fertile, less baggage and trauma, more open to new ideas, less stuck in their ways, stuck in a job city, more agreeable, tend to be easier to build a life with, also more grateful and easily satisfied, whereas a woman who's dated 20 other men who've provided X, Y, Z, they're going to be like, oh, okay. But usually, you have a Ferrari, my ex has a Ferrari too.
Usually
cool. Like,
these women date guys that are usually also divorced, maybe have a couple of kids. You know, older girls don't go for younger guys either, you know?
Yes,
some
but
of them do, but it's not for...
Well, men and women are attracted. There's not symmetry in what men and women are attracted to.
Yeah.
We're both attracted to different things. And just to add to the list here, younger woman's less likely to have children or a psycho ex. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree. It's just,
I'm just still kind of perplexed. Like, y'all, I mean, I didn't get the answer from everybody. Yeah. But you were saying, like, you think a woman's peak is 39?
Can be. I said can be.
No.
For me, it is.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to give you a red pill here.
You're going to tell me... Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that it's like that for everybody. Mm-hmm. This is just for me personally and how I feel
Can we pull up
how I look.
Yeah, you actually, I think we...
Oh, it's fucking... It's
your
horrible.
Instagram?
Yeah,
you're going to tell me that a woman, like, for instance, me, who was an ugly duckling when I was in my 20s because I gained so much weight, and now I've already lost so much that people have drastically noticed that somehow we're not going to get better looking. I'm literally walking proof, and I'm still a work in progress. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm skinny, but I'm losing it, and I see the difference, and I feel it from men, from women, everything.
Okay, sure. So if... I can concede that you might be at a lighter weight. However, there are just certain biological realities when it comes to, for example, somebody's skin, other things when it comes to youth. It's just the reality. I mean, I don't know what you looked like when you were younger, but like, let's say you were just 130 pounds.
I was 108 when I tested for Playboy.
When was that?
2010.
Oh, and you were what? How old then?
2010, 19.
Wait, so are you saying when you were 19 and you weighed 108 pounds?
And I looked terrible in the face. It was like my nose overtook it. My face hadn't fully grown into my body, so my body looked great. So I was always a pretty girl, but I did not look facially as pretty as I do now.
So, and
men Holly can agree on that one.
That's fine.
And I don't have work done.
So you're saying when you were 19 and you weighed 108 pounds, you're more attractive now at 32, and I mean, this is not a question I would typically ask, but how much do you weigh?
Right now, I'm at 170. I was at 218.
Okay, so 19
8 months ago.
Okay, 19 108 versus 32 170 pounds. Are you making the argument that you're more physically attractive now?
No.
Oh,
I'm making hold on, sorry.
Okay,
I'm making the argument I'm more physically attractive in the face. Absolutely, but in the body, no.
Well, I mean, without seeing pictures, it would be hard for me to say. You said you did something for Playboy?
Yeah, I tested.
You tested?
Yeah.
Do you have,
I didn't get in. I have the photos, yeah, but I didn't get in the magazine because of my tattoos.
It's hard to say, but I would say that for both men and women, you start to age a bit in the face. People start getting wrinkles.
Absolutely, that's what's going to happen.
The skin loses its tautness. So, I mean...
I guess you guys will
I get what
you're
saying. I was saying just an individual level, like,
you know. It's all personal for everyone.
Yeah, everyone's different.
I mean, but like, if we want to talk about like, if we want to talk about wrinkles, like, you know, I like had the 11. You know, I got Botox for the first time in my life this month too. So like,
yeah, that's cheating though.
But there's even men.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Like,
people get wrinkles in their early 20s. So
you compare a 30-year-old now to a 30-year-old back in like my parents' generations, like it's crazy. The difference is it really does. We have technology.
But I think
we don't have to get ugly.
What you guys are,
and a lot of us aren't tanning anymore. Tanning was a big factor on skin. Let me tell you. In the 90s, because I used to work at the salons, in the 90s that went up. Ever since melanoma and everything, it's a big factor. Really bad for your skin. You age. 10 to 20 years.
We're not saying that a woman who's 30, 35, 40, 45 can't be physically attractive. That's not what we're saying. But you guys are making the argument that women peak when their physical beauty in their late 30s.
No,
that's absolutely not the truth.
No, I think you know what it is.
No,
I
it's
think
not
we're both.
personal.
No.
It's not personal.
I think we're just like
across the board, people are more. I would argue even both men and women are more physically attractive when they're younger.
No,
I know.
Sure, there's a differential.
No, I get what you're saying, though. I
personally think I was more physically attractive 10 years ago than I am now.
I would probably find you more attractive now because you're more of a man.
But
but he's saying like in a physical. He's saying like skin, like you're youthful.
Weird, if a guy looks too youthful to me, then he's not. Then I don't really recognize him as my alpha.
Yeah, but I think it's different. But now I'm understanding
how to be different.
Yeah, but now I'm understanding what he's saying. He's pretty much just saying like the youthful part of our body. Like we do start age. I started noticing like my youth decrease at like literally exactly when I turned 30. I started seeing like little wrinkles. So I actually understand what you're saying now. What I was trying to argue is very different. So I think we're both kind of like at this point talking about two separate things.
Yeah.
Did you have something, Mason? What?
No, I think it goes into, so you're saying like you can be attractive to men, so you're not very attracted to guys who are very youthful. I think that goes into the fact that you're generally not attracted to guys who are not mature, who are not going to be that alpha dude.
Nope.
Right.
So you want a guy who is going to be able to take the lead, and that generally increases with age. Mm-hmm. So for men, we don't want that. We want a woman who is not as experienced so that we can lead them where they don't have all of that emotional baggage, that relationship baggage.
But that comes
some guys get tired
of
having to lead women. Yeah.
Well,
isn't it a little
some guys get very exhausted when they have to lead women in a way that they don't want to lead them. I'm not saying they don't want to lead them, but I'm saying if it's not the way that they like it, they don't really really it. You know what I mean?
You're very attractive man, both of you. So.
Yeah.
And I think
men don't want to lead insubordinate women.
Yeah, and
like,
they don't want to. They don't want not the situation they want, right? Like like you were saying, there is that brand, like they want the exact thing that they like. If they want you to be a subordinate woman, then that is what that guy wants. If they want you to be the bossy woman, then that's what they want.
Just to address that, like words have to have meaning. So if you want a man who's a leader, there's two sides of the coin there. In order to lead, somebody has to follow. So what we have going on, I think men to some degree lack leadership, and women certainly are not prepared to follow.
Right.
Because we're in this new era of like
that's what I was going to say.
I think though a good way instead of following though is the word support. You know what I mean? Like, I think that what happens is that you have two kings fighting for a crown.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I do have something.
Okay, then I have to show the bow video.
So, I mean, okay, if you are a true leader, you need somebody that is going to support your mission. Mm-hmm. So, like, if we're going to take the military as our example, there is somebody at the very top of the military making all of the decisions. Now, if the people below me are going against my mission, I'm going to kick them out, get them out of there. They are not helping me support my mission. So as a man, I want to find a wife who is going to support my mission. And if she is constantly kicking my legs out and going in the opposite direction as me, she's not following, she's not submitting. Yeah, and she's not letting me lead. It's her sacrificing her choice, not choice, but her desires in order to support me in my mission.
It's like you as a man don't want a woman that you feel you have to push up the hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel
you don't want to push her up the hill. If she can't walk up that hill, then fuck her.
Not only
I'm
that,
sorry,
but I feel like
it is what it is. You know, if you can't
push her up the hill.
Yeah, you know, like what I mean with that is a man doesn't want to like always try to push her. Like,
well, a man wants.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, you push her. No. I'm walking. You're behind me.
Yeah, but
to get her up the hill, he has to support her the whole
time. The
thing
is, a lot of
I ain't pushing.
Exactly, that's what we want.
I got you on a leash.
Exactly.
I'm dragging you. I'm not pushing. I drag.
That's what I
I'm a dragger.
Oh, so you don't just leave them there? Because for me, if you're like,
that's a drag.
It's like a man thing on the hill situation.
No push.
I don't push.
I drag. Drag. If I have to drag you by your ankles, I'll drag you by the ankles. We could put something
I'd
round.
say hair, but you can pick.
What?
I'm sorry.
I don't know what the pushing and thing.
I wanted
I'm
to
just
say,
being- what?
the problem with the culture now is women want to be so goddamn independent, but then when it comes down to being like, oh, but wait, can
But
you
you're-
go do this
But
for
not-
me?
Not only that, but I feel like right now, what a 21-year-old is probably not what a mature man that's looking for a relationship, like a serious relationship is. Like a lot of like 21-year-old, 22-year-old are like partying, like they don't want to like let go of their freedom, like they just want to live that single life. So I think that like it's just something that when you're in a man and you're mature, you kind of don't want to be like with someone too young. Maybe somebody that already reached that level of maturity, because then you are, like you said, you're pushing that person or like having, and it's a lot of work for a man to have to like drag a woman. Like you want someone to be supportive, especially if you're if you're an entrepreneur and you're focused on your like mission. You don't want a woman like dragging you down, you know? And a lot of young girls can do that, especially like I think it's more of like back in the days when like our parents were growing up and like there was like, you know, a very different lifestyle. Like a 20-year-old woman was a wife, like a mother, you know, like that's not a thing anymore. So
Carla, go ahead, and then I'm going to move on to another topic. Go ahead.
So I think that culture, though, is kind of reverting itself, or because the struggles that I have with my women or the women that I coach and just my community in general, they're like, I'm feminine, I'm giving it up. Like, I want to be submissive. I want to find that man to be a leader. And they're like slowly not wanting to be that independent woman. Like, they're all waking up. And I think now we're in a culture right now, in a period where we can't find leaders anymore, because I honestly think that it's because of the public school system and just the school system and the education system in general. But I think that version of women wanting to be independent is outdated, and the sooner we realize that, I think relationships are going to be a lot happier. Because again, I got married at 22, and I have like, I could say I have friends that are married too, and they're young. So a lot of women are waking up. They're like, this independent thing, that's a scam. Let's not do that. So I think the issue now is like men have to wake up too, and they're not waking up fast enough for us ladies, I think.
Can I add something to that? I think now that, like, you know, I do see that a lot happening, but I think that now it's going to get a little bit hard with men because sex is given so easily, so they're not forced to commit at this point.
So ready to give up. That's why.
So it's like these girls are out there and they're really like, why am I not getting the right man? But it's like, why would they commit when everybody else is just like, you know, having sex with each other?
That's why I tell my ladies, I'm like, we're not doing that. We're smarter than that. Let's be smarter. Like that.
Yeah, but they won't do it, but other girls are doing it.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
What messes it up.
But that's how you can tell a man from a boy. A man is like, oh no, she's a good one, I'm going for that one. That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, but then it's hard to find.
I disagree a little bit.
Then it's hard to find these men.
But
it's like one in a million at this point.
No. If you,
I'll wait if she's a virgin.
I feel like that's
maybe.
I feel like that's limiting.
Dates. I'll wait a couple days. She's a virgin.
How generous of you, man.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy.
That's a limiting belief, I think, because I mean, I grew up with, you know, wanting to wait until marriage, and all the guys that I encounter, I've been very blessed with the relationships that I've had. They would respect me, and I know that there's a lot of men that would respect the woman that respects herself. A man is only going to go as far as a woman lets him, and I say this time and time again. So it's not the only way that we can fix the dating market is if we fix ourselves first.
100%.
So and I agree with you that other girls are giving it up easily, but that's not our problem. Our problem is like, let's differentiate between a boy and a man. A man is going to recognize very fast what wife material is versus just like a fun time.
Yeah.
Hate men.